Now, as he settles in as Gambia's new president, Adama Barrow must come to terms with the reality of the task ahead. Following Barrow's victory, the mood in the country was that of excitement and relief as Gambian citizens had fought long and hard to rid the country of the tyranny and dictatorship of former President Mr Jammeh. Lamin Jahateh tells us what lies ahead for the small West African nation.
In the process of fighting out Jammeh, the small West African nation became more divided along tribal lines than ever before, thanks to the former president's tribal rhetoric. Dr. Ismail Nasise is a political analyst and a lecturer at the University of the Gambia. He said the government has a monumental social task to unite the country.
One of the key challenges is to unite the nation. I've always been emphasizing that the nation, Gambian nation, has never, ever before been so divided along both political and tribal lines.
Aside from uniting the country, President Barrow will also have a challenge of maintaining unity within his coalition government. He led a coalition of 8 political parties that are united only by the common desire to unseat the dictator. Now that Jammeh is gone, the task is maintaining unity among the coalition of different personalities and worldview.
Let's look at the history of the coalition. They've been in opposition. They've been fierce rivals for the past 20 to 30 years. And it's been very difficult, in fact, to get them under one roof, let alone having them contest under one candidate. But now when they achieved that, it was a very successful achievement. But then now, we have to understand also that the coalition, according to the MOU, that they are going to rule for 3 years. After that, there'll be election. But they all have at the back of their mind that after that 3 years, they'll all go their separate ways. And all of them have political ambitions to run the country again. That makes the coalition very, very fragile.
After that, the government has the task of maintaining the high and wide collective expectations of Gambians.
My expectations are too high about presidential term limit. No president should stay in power for more than 10 years.
My expectations are high for this new government. We expect it to fulfill all the promises of freedom and democracy, especially human rights. People's right to freedom of expression also should be respected. They should create more employment for the youths.
Malik Jallo is a private legal practitioner and a law lecturer at the University of the Gambia. He said most of the freedoms and call for justice cannot just come automatic. It has to follow a process which starts with amending the laws and establishing institutions.
I don't think you need a rocket scientist to actually tell you that the legal sector and other related sectors have actually suffered a lot during the course of the previous regime. Example, independence of the judiciary was routinely being flouted, was not respected to a level that we all wanted. So I think the first thing that would need to be done by this new government is to address the issue of independence and impartiality of the judiciary.
President Adama Barrow said he will embark on a complete overhaul of the government.
There was a government here for 22 years. 22 years is a long time, and we are able to change the government after 22 years. So obviously, there will be a lot of challenges to look at all the system and make a complete overhaul.
Large-scale government reform is not only time-consuming, but also expensive. So how can a government that is to serve for a transition period of 3 years and that has taken over a state with little in its coffers be able to undertake such reforms to meet the high and wide collective expectations of Gambians?
I think the task Barrow has is far much more difficult than removing Jammeh from power, the task he has now. Because what is happening is that there are so much expectations from Gambian people. And we don't take our time, there'll be a huge gap between expectations and achievements.
For VOA, this is Lamin Jahateh reporting from Banjul, the Gambia.